role playing. I am your host and game master for the evening, Kevin Manus Pennings, also known as Cracked Palantir, and this is episode 23 of Brise's Tale. How many episodes will there be? That depends on if Brise lives past this one, which we think he will. But she will. But as always, my good buddy Max is here to play Brise in the world of Karandrin. Max, say hi.
Hello, everybody. If you're here watching this live, then you can read lips because, we had an announcement to move it to Monday instead of this Wednesday. So
Yes, this is very true, and I screwed up, and my headache wouldn't let me redo it. But hopefully, you saw on the website we put an announcement, and so there won't be one this Wednesday, but the next Wednesday we're
there will be
all
one right now.
there's going to be one right now. Feel free to watch that one right now. So we were just talking about all kind of ideas within the game and so on, and we're trying to have a bigger Reddit presence and post interesting things on there. And so those things will then be repeated on the website, and you can take a look at some various lore of the game. That'll hopefully be done in the next couple of days, certainly within the next week. So welcome back, everybody, and why don't you give us a recap, Max? Unless
Giant wand. That's all everyone needs to know. Yeah, actually, I don't have a whole lot. It was a lot of walking, a lot of talking. Yeah, so the people remember I was in the underground domain of the a civilization who calls themselves the people of the soil. These interesting, tall, almost elephantine in the face, but they don't have ears. These tall creatures, they're excellent diggers, and of a very advanced society beneath the earth here. I spoke with their elder, or I guess some authority figure of theirs, this old dude, and what's really interesting is that they had a creature called a priest bird with them that I'm very familiar with, and I've been seeking as part of just part of a goal for another thing I'm working towards. And I was able to talk with the priest bird with some magic and kind of effectively communicate with this species. And it seems like I'm going to try to help them out with an issue that they have.
And what is the issue?
The issue is that at the bottom of their underground home, very far down, is a giant wand that has been lodged in the earth. I guess there's this big chasm, and like they're building downwards, right? And there's just a 70-foot big phallic thing sticking out of the ground, and I'm like, well, that's a wand belonging to a 180-foot creature that dropped it here or teleported in here or whatever. So I guess we don't really even know what they want. Like, do they need me to say it's safe? Do they need me to neutralize it, to get rid of it? We don't know that yet. But
Yeah, we sort of ended on a big reveal, which I think is always fun to do. And it's not always going to work with the stream, of course, a ton of time it to end this way. But I would love it if we could do that more often, where we do sort of end on an interesting cliffhanger. Yeah, so this wand is made out of bone or ivory. It's some sort of material like that. And it is at the very bottom of this spiral ramp, like a spiral staircase, but much broader. But interestingly, as this occurs to you, Brise, is that there's no opening in this shaft to the sky.
yeah,
The water that has seeped in here is from, just groundwater and rain and so on. And so you've got, some, I don't know, 15 or 20 feet of the handle sticking out of the water. And then pretty much the rest of it just falls down through the rest of the chasm. And there this thing lies. It's very carven. But it is indeed a 70-foot wand. I've done some cursory math on it, looking at its mass, but suffice it to say, it weighs well beyond anything you have any comparison for.
Yeah.
I mean, 100 horses would not be sufficient on a scale to balance
So
this
you're
thing.
saying I can't teleport it out of here?
I'm saying you should definitely try. I mean,
Miracle roll? Actually, man, a miracle roll. This might be what I need,
right.
depending on what we need to do with this thing.
So it is. So yeah, I've actually done the math to calculate its weight, and so should that come into play, but um, it is. It
A
is tons and tons and tons.
mega honking.
Yeah. Um, I looked at densities for things like avian bone, even,
Mm,
which is
okay.
surprisingly denser. I thought it would be just under the density of water is what I thought it would be, and
Mhm.
it's not. It's almost twice the density of water, which just shocked me. So,
Really?
yeah, avian bone is 1.8.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, because
so,
I guess they're very light, but that doesn't mean they're not
right,
big.
a whole bone is lighter than other bones
Right.
because they're hollow, but the bone material is still bone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So aven bone is the least dense of course, the bones, but their cranial bones are the most dense of any animal.
Mm.
Isn't that interesting?
Hard-headed, yeah.
Yeah,
Bird brain, as they say.
right. So yes, here we have then just an enormous wand.
Speaking of birds, I got the priest bird right here.
Yes, and so yeah, let's just start off, buddy.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, let me get the. Oh,
oh wait, you were already there.
usually I'm on the previous screen, so
Right, right, right.
we got to start all over again.
That's right. We're gonna have to restart with a recap and everything. We apologize. So yeah, so Brise is standing here. The priest bird, who they're inherently sort of good. You don't really see a lot of good and bad talk in Karandrin unless it's from people in the game. We don't generally use that terminology because it's really up for the characters to judge. But the priest birds definitely have a reputation for fighting unholy things, unnatural things, and so on.
Yeah.
We know that this priest bird has committed himself to defending this community. Refers to that particular elder as father, which is very interesting.
Mhm.
And the priest bird has it was about 5 feet high or so, but very long, shaped like a pheasant. Has long, long tail pinions, and we know is capable of carrying Brise's weight at least. Um, and and has carried him down to the bottom of the shaft to prevent days of walking. And they stand here now at just above the water on the ramp, looking across at this handle of a wand as the wand juts from the water. Brees, Max, what do you want to do?
I was gonna say this would be commission a painting is really what I want to do because it'd be a really cool like fantasy wallpaper, bottom of the earth.
That would be funny. Yeah, well, you get Elliot on that, and
Yeah.
we'll talk about that. We'll have captured moments. That's actually not a bad idea. If we actually make some income from this, I don't mind. That'd be kind of cool. Just have moments that
Yeah. Yeah.
commemorate. You know.
Well, I Priestbird, if I remember, the Priestbird asked me, just if I had any idea what this was, and I'll respond with my speak with animals, which is still active because I recast it. I just
Yes.
hand wave how exactly long we can cast again if I need. But I say I think that's a wand, the type of apparatus a wizard would use to cast spells, but on an enormous scale.
Those are called wands.
Yes.
It's been down here since they arrived.
Mm.
He gestures, up the ramp. He says, "These are not their diggings.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
What being would use such an item, and would they be dangerous?
Well, wizards can be incredibly good or incredibly evil, just like any person. So there's no way to tell. Oh, I mean, I guess by the nature of the wand, I don't know about wands, I guess, to know. Can you tell like the personality or the type of magic based on the wand?
The only way to do that, of course, is
Be
attunement.
attuned to it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, which is definitely possible. Another idea I want to throw out, I'll write it down if I remember, but there could be other stuff beneath the water that would be, could be affiliated with the wand. So I got to remember to do like a water
That's a really
breathing
good thought.
trigger. So, but but yeah, I say there is a way to attune to it if one were to try to approach it and touch it, but never seen anything this big. I don't know if that would be dangerous or not. Um,
The My father, his arts have shown that it is magical
mhm.
still. It's been here long enough to transform the water below. The water is now itself enchanted, though we don't know exactly how. The magics that he senses off of it is that it makes casting spells safer,
Hmm.
and it helps increase the range of spells. But this really means nothing to me. And in terms of determining the character of the item, I don't know what to say.
All right. Was there any decoration in the wand as well, carved into the wand? Any kind of
Yes.
indication of sculpture?
Yeah, I mean, it's heavily engraved, beautifully engraved. Um, Roll for me.
See if I can spot anything on there. I can get closer if I need to. 46.
Well, there's a lot of flowers on there. There is um, there is some sort of scene around, that you just sort of see the bare end of, like you can see an edge of it, right?
Yeah.
But something about it. So the scene is clearly it's a woman's hand is what you're seeing. Sort of you can imagine it sort of being on a barrel, right? And you can see just over the horizon of the barrel, or I should say, just prior to the horizon of the barrel, you can see a woman's hand holding a dagger. Okay.
How do I know it's a woman's hand?
Well, because it's slender and graceful.
Okay. Okay.
It is unarmored. Um, there seem there seem to be rays of action or of light
Yeah.
coming off of it. You'd have to get the full context to
I'm gonna
see.
send Lowell over there to take a better look.
There you go.
Bird familiar.
That's right. Good old Lala. But it's so weird. Like just with that little bit of information, you're like, that is so familiar. Actually,
Oh,
roll for me. You might just remember. I don't know. I don't use these
34.
stats. 34.
Yeah.
It's driving you even crazier. It's
Oh
killing
my
you.
god. So I mean 35 is what I wrote.
Oh, that's it. Now you got it, buddy. Now you got it. That's totally it. So Lala goes over. You position their lantern closer to her. It is a scene of some powerful wizard, sorcerer, something destroying um, this woman holding two daggers, one in each hand. Um, she seems to be, shattering almost. So maybe it's just a statue of her,
Mm.
and there are snakes at her feet. Nothing.
Yes. Is that the in the dwarven hold? Is that the woman?
It is the Iron Empress.
Yeah. Which is life, I think. It's a symbology for the maze of life or something.
Um,
I can maybe
the
search.
Iron Empress maker. The figure you found was the Iron Empress, and it said the maker of days, piercer of lives, breaker of the maze.
Oh, it's death. Not life. The symbology. Manifestation of death. Okay.
You may send that to you in a text, by the way.
No, that's all right. I know I have it in my notes around here somewhere. So she's being shattered. That is really interesting. Is there any writing on the wand?
It's difficult to tell because you have some muck on it,
Hmm.
right? Some mold here and there.
Yeah.
And, it's difficult to tell runic carving, right, that empowers
Hmm.
magic from simply an unknown language.
Right. Well, I'm confident then that if the elder discerned uh, elder discerned that the magic on it is used for aiding spells, I'm assuming I can get close up and even touch it without any harm done to me. Less of that risk, right? I mean, the other wands I've come across weren't enchanted that way, so I think it's worth trying to get closer and trying to see some of that writing or those scenes up close. I guess could like the muck you said, I could maybe clear that away. My
I mean, yeah,
spear.
that which you could reach. What you feel like you need is a broom.
True.
You know, and so
I could I could ask the priest bird is do you have anything that could clean it off so it could discern the writing? Maybe a broom.
I was going to go back up and fetch my master anyway.
Okay.
I will return with both, and
All right.
off he flies, spiraling back up the great spiral way. Um, you go up the ramp, and you can reach and just crouch and touch the base of the handle. But the question is, do you want to wait for them to return in case something?
Well, me being impatient and really curious what this is, I'll wait a minute, and then if they don't come back, I'll be like, okay, let's go.
You can hear them coming back. It's fine. You think? Let's do it.
All right.
All right. Roll it up.
Roll to not die. 28. I'll take it.
It is a flood of information, and a sense of enormous benevolence. So, while you feel that there's no way you could make use of this wand, and your understanding is that wands take study even for the most practiced, but apparently you have passed its test. You are pure enough to be worthy of knowledge.
Wow.
Had you not been worthy enough, you would learn nothing about it.
Okay.
See if that's... Let's see, is that... Oh, wow, it's not going to give me everything. Huh. Trying to think where I could put this. I was going to give you all of the traits all at once.
So plus 90, like, to casting.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it to you in an email. And then we'll just...
email. Let me open up more tabs here, Kevin.
I know, man. I'm sorry. So, the wand is class 7, which is practically unheard of.
Okay.
And I'm just reading what I've just sent you, so don't bother making notes.
I'm writing that down. Oh, you said that to me exactly. Well,
yeah, I've sent everything to you.
Holy moly!
So that means that, and again, for our D&D watchers, whereas you guys may work on a scale of +1, +2, +3. Rollmaster works on a scale of 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20. So 15's getting +15 stuff. That's really good. That's really handy stuff. And this thing is +40 to all spells cast. And that's +20 to any attempt to influence people.
Kevin, I don't think there's even an item in D&D that's like a +5.
Well, and this is really exceptional.
This is legendary, yeah.
Wow. It adds 40% to the range and duration of your spells.
Oh my gosh.
It's 70. It stores up to 70 points of magical energy. It resists
that last one.
Yes, it resists magical attempts to destroy the wand or its properties as though it's level 150. And if the wand successfully resists such attempts, the wand delivers damage to the would-be destroyer. The wand can endure the might of a dragon and its breath. And when near destruction, the wand will teleport to its wielder.
Wow.
That would be to say the last person who was able to attune to it.
Right.
The wand reduces criticals by 1 severity. That is, damage incoming is reduced by 1 severity. Healing spells have double the range even after calculating the wand's initial ability. All spells that let you gain hit points or let anyone gain hit points, it doubles that hit point gain. But also, whenever the wielder spell would grant hit points, it grants that much to all allies within 150 feet. And the wielder's channeling attack, and this would be for temple magic users, the ability to fire part of their god's energy directly at an opponent. It adds an additional critical to that attack.
Wow. And you forgot to say the most important thing is the -8 to fumble.
That's also really helpful. But
pay Mithril for that.
Yes. So yeah.
Wow. That is some legendary stuff there.
It's crazy. Like you failed the attune roll, obviously at a 28 for such a powerful item.
Yeah.
But in terms of passing, it's passing the purity roll. It's
Right.
like no problem.
Yeah.
Now,
It's interesting that it not even has that. Yeah.
so for you sort of half magic, half weapons users, here's the deal with wands. You don't get any of the spell casting benefits of it.
Mm.
Okay. But other abilities, like if you had, for instance, in my game, there's a Wand of Embers, okay? And that has abilities, certain charge abilities on it. You can always use those.
Okay.
And so,
So it has like the PowerPoint ability. I can make use of that theoretically, but
right.
spellcasting benefit.
Right. So you can't get the fumble reduction and the boost and things like that. But yes, it is. Certainly, I mean, one could argue that it's, it was created for evil. The healings maybe suggests otherwise, but even evil people need healing.
Right. But just that purity test also is kind of like a
Yes, and the sense of benevolence.
I'd say.
Yeah, the sense of benevolence clearly pushes it to it being good.
Yeah. It makes me think also something like dragons, right? Something this big must be in history, in myth somewhere. It couldn't go unnoticed,
Right.
whatever this thing is. I mean, whatever defeated it, if anything. That is interesting. Oh my gosh. A lot more questions now.
Why don't you roll a reasoning roll for me?
60.
What do I want to give you with a 60?
Everything.
Good roll, and you are a bright girl. Which is the more elaborate conclusion? It's tough to say. I'll give you one, but not both. So here's the thing about it. If you're 180 feet tall or 200 feet tall, then using a wand of this length, right? Then 150-foot radius isn't that much.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I was thinking the abilities on it, like maybe aren't that impressive for a giant.
And so it would be the equivalent of having like a 6-foot radius.
Yeah.
Right? And that's almost too close for combat.
Yeah. But okay, yeah, never mind.
So it just seems weird.
Yeah.
Like if this is for a race of giants, then why is the radius not proportionate to their height? Right? Because this would be what? 25 times your height.
Right.
So why is it not 25 times 200? So some 5,000 feet.
Yeah. It's literally like the wand is longer than the radius it might add because of that bonus.
Right. So roll again.
39.
All right. So there you go. Very interesting.
Yeah.
You hear the bird descending. You sort of flatten yourself against the wall to give it, space for its wings to sail by you, and it does quite elegantly and lands with the master and carrying a broom on its back. The priest bird cocks its its head and looks at you and says, "You have learned something."
Indeed. I'll tell it, everything I know, that it's indicates that it has a used for benevolent purposes, or at least its user was benevolent. The magic on it, the abilities on it, all improve the ability to heal, or like the master or the father discern the ability to cast spells, improve their casting.
The father nods his 8-foot high head, although he is somewhat hunched, and he's clearly relieved. It's a load off. The bird plucks the broom from against the wall, does a short little hop, and brings it to you.
Yeah.
And I assume you begin cleaning.
Yeah. I can reach most of it basically from where I am on land. I don't need to.
You could
levitate and kind of just move around and.
Well, I mean, you're sort of probably less worried about the water now. You just need to unload, and the water could help clean. Like I say, if you were to fall in or just swim in, and of course, you could probably just climb on the thing. And
well, yeah, I was saying, but like that seems difficult to climb and clean, like because I need my
it
hand.
is difficult, but your fall is only 20 feet into water.
Right.
So,
If I could do it without magic, then I might take that.
So just give me a roll. This is not to see if you succeed. This is to see how difficult and how long it takes you.
All right, here we go. 33.
All right, that's great. Not very long, not very difficult. There's a band in the middle you just can't reach. You couldn't find a good purchase on. The figure destroying the Iron Empress's emblem or statue, or herself, whatever it is clearly a halfling female. They've given her a very smiling countenance. There are a heap of bodies in one image. They're clearly meant to be human. Large men, armored. Clearly soldiers, warriors. And here we have the female halfling throwing flowers on top of the heap. And it's the flower that is repeated. It's sort of like a carnation or a mum. It's a very densely petaled kind of thing.
Yeah. Is it the same image of the halfling, or is it like she's duplicated on another?
No, it's the same. I mean, it's certainly the same figure.
Okay, she's attacking the Iron Empress, and then
right.
Also doing this.
No. Sorry, it's a separate image. It's a separate.
Gotcha, but the same character. Okay.
Yes. There's a group of halflings celebrating in a tavern. And there are characters. There is writing here and there, although again, whether it's magical or not is anyone's guess. You really can't tell with your rune skill. I just took that roll from you.
Pretty bad at runes, if I recall. I'll pull up my spectacles and spectacles of sophistication and see if I can decipher it.
And spectacles of sophistication allow him to read, or her to read, any language.
No, Kevin. I just want to take out my spectacles and
clean them with the broom.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no. So
smart doing it.
The tavern scene reads I'm just going to send it to you. Celebration of Freedom. The soldier scene, reads Defeat of the Valley Guard. And the scene with the Iron Empress herself simply says the future.
Couldn't get any more cryptic than that, can you?
Well, I don't think it needs to be more specific. I think it's, to be hopeful.
Nice if it had a detailed explanation,
There is
The
a
adventure
picture,
thing is hard,
right?
All this together.
There's a out of perspective sort of carving of our halfling and a tower. The tower has these flowers growing all over it.
Okay.
Another one higher up on the base shows what clearly must be her enchanting the wand. The wand is laid out on some sort of surface. There's a cloth underneath it that falls to either side of the surface, and she is standing in the background with her hands over it, and it is emitting light. There's a scene that you can't exactly make out, but clearly it's, just from the caption is someone. It ends with a O. The name ends with an O. Confronts the Valley Guard. And then in at the very base, my good sir, which was hard to clean the bottom of the base. I should say the top of the base, just because there's no good angle to get the broom around. But you are able to make out Nothnaro's wand.
Okay. Nothnarro's wand. Nothnarro. Of course. That doesn't ring a bell, does it?
I'll tell you what rings a bell. The bell of reason.
Uh-oh.
It tells you that halflings don't need 70-foot wands.
Well, that's true. Now, if a halfling was a giant, it would still be called a halfling. Like, it's still really stocky and short, but just like 100 feet tall.
Right.
Yeah, that is very. That was the last race you would expect to be using a giant wand.
So now make another reasoning roll with
Sure,
this
Kevin.
piece of information.
I hope I rolled really low. Oh, 73. Okay.
The wand is virtually impossible to destroy.
Right.
But it's not impossible to steal. And it's not impossible to enchant it further and make it impossible to wield.
Oh, interesting. That's really interesting. Oh.
So at some point, the forces that oppose Nathnaro figured out a way to make the wand irrelevant.
Hmm.
Can't point your wand, and since the damn thing weighs, well, I'll tell you, really close to around 1,500 tons, they hid it away and made it impossible to wield.
Makes a lot of sense, actually. Huh. Talk about like the principle of Occam's razor just does not apply when it comes to magic. It's like, what is the simplest way possible this could have ended up here? It's like there is no simple.
Well, you found a simple one, but it was
Yeah, I mean,
impossible.
that's but even then that's convoluted, right? It's like because they can't destroy it, they have to do all
Well,
this
you
stuff.
found the. I mean, the idea of a giant wielder was the simplest,
Well, right,
but it
right,
was impossible to gauge its likelihood given what you know about living beings.
right.
Um, and so, but you were able to reason it out.
Indeed, indeed.
And so then comes along this race. They find a perfectly wonderful series of levels. Who knows? Clearly the ramp. We know the ramp was not their work. The central spiral, was not their work.
Right,
Clearly, some of the upper levels weren't their work because we have innate carvings that they just don't do.
right. Very cool. Very interesting.
Roll for me.
76.
So before you consider diving down to the bottom,
Sure.
you should ask them if they've dived down to the bottom.
Oh, okay. They see me like taking off my clothes, ready to go, and like, what are you doing? There's nothing down.
She
I
sure is
asked.
doing a lot of stretches. Ugh, here we go, gang. You know.
Yeah, so I asked them that. Is anything down there?
There was. Um, there were four magical objects. We have studied them. They are egg shaped, the size um, larger than some egg you would both know. I mean, we say a chicken egg. They probably have found wild chickens before and raised them. Metal, intricate. We did decipher their magic. They siphon magic from a location or object
Hmm.
and grant that power to the controller. Make a make a blah 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 blah. I didn't give you magic item lore, so I'm just going to give you magic item lore at some point. And just roll. We'll assume you have a bonus that's equivalent to what you need.
12. Hope that bonus is big.
It's yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean, oh, okay, sure.
You've heard of it. You know that this is an item that you've heard mentioned. You've never seen one in a shop.
Hmm.
Um, you do remember that casters such as yourself can't make use of them. They're for specialists.
Right.
Um, um, and you recall that egg is in the name.
Mm.
I should look it up so I know how to pronounce it. I can't remember if it's 1E or 2.
Makes me think they ended up here with the wand as if to like, okay, you're gonna be able to not use the wand, but now we can at least use its power as well because we
Right.
can't do it. Yeah, very interesting. Okay. Yeah, I guess I mean it wouldn't really benefit if I saw the magic siphoner because I know they do.
And they kind of, belong to, um, they kind of belong to these people now.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was just curious. Like, would it help if I saw them, like, to be able to work with them? But like you said, they're more of a special. I just know it's like, well, someone was siphoning. Yeah, that's all I really think. So okay,
Well, it's rare to kind of come to sort of the beginning and end of a mystery in
yeah.
Karandrin.
It's so weird. Now I just want to leave and ask about like around town for who North Toro was. But yeah, like
Right.
in this moment right here, we're just trying to determine the
At least
problem.
that it's safe and that it's,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't expect you to roll so good, but you got the first one that gave you the first piece, and then
Mhm.
um, I hadn't decided whether the name was going to be on the wand or not, and so I just rolled, and it was a huge roll. So I'm like, okay, yep, he's
Yeah.
going to find that. So, um,
Okay.
so yeah, so
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell them also. It's like there's so obviously belong to a person. I could do my own research. I'm curious about it as well, and could learn more about the origin of this wand. But for all intents and purposes, it seems like a something that won't do harm to being around it.
roll for me.
72.
It does occur to you. Do you want to kind of make a point of saying, it would not be good to let someone untrustworthy near the wand? Should they sort of protect the wand?
Yeah, I just thought of like, what if whatever organization that like did this, to the wand is like, no, let's go check on our wand 100 years later.
Did we
Like,
have a
what was it?
did we have a time frame for how long they'd been here?
No, actually, I was going to ask them that. I hadn't been told, they moved in. They might have told me earlier, but
The father says that he was born here when the settlement was new,
mm,
and
I probably don't have a conception of time. Damn underground people.
he he's been here 55 summers.
Okay.
Now your thought is, well, no, unless you know, yeah, that's all right. So yeah, so it's been here 55 years at least.
Yeah.
Um, they say it was muck covered then, so there's a few years in addition. The goblins came here 350 years ago. Um, but the Iron Empress must have been prominent, you know?
Right.
So when was she prominent? So prominent as to warrant, kind of warranting an enemy. So common that she warrants a stand against her.
Yeah. In my
Um,
iconography. Um,
so,
I know the dwarven hold was over 5,000 years ago.
yeah,
So, but there was depictions of her in there. So it's hard to tell with those type of figures symbology, right? It lasts for a long time, changes
right.
over, but it could be very long time. So But yeah, I do then warn them that, well, if it seems like this has been here longer, much longer than your people has. So it's not unlikely that, someone still knows this is here. Well, how do I word that? That people could come down here and seek this.
Well, just powerful magic users detecting powerful magic
Right.
could come here.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I mean,
And if they are, definitely of ill will, there could be some um, consequences to them um, getting access to this item.
roll for me.
24.
It's barely it. Yeah, I'll give you that. What would Verilag do with this thing?
Heal everyone.
That's her.
Oops.
That's our girl.
Going all over the place here. Sorry. Um, if you scroll up on PowerPoint, it will change slides. That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, that would be real bad. Real like discover. I mean, she's a person with the means to know what to do with it too, which is kind of scary.
Yeah.
Well, now I have an alibi. If she ever turns against me or something, we're like, but I'll tell you about the one
Oh, you've got some leverage.
leverage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Embargo with. That's funny. Have you heard about Nathnoro?
Right. Roll for me.
39, 36. Some low rolls.
So something on the ramp, the the edge of the ramps are very rounded, practically cylinders, right?
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
And the because you're sort of looking up, as you're thinking, and so you're like, I know there's a connection here. I know I'm missing a trick, as they say. I know I'm missing a trick. And so you take the broom and you sort of scrub off the one above you. And those cylinders, that continuous cylinder,
Mhm.
is scaled,
Hmm.
carven stone. It's a giant snake.
Oh,
Because the Iron Empress's symbol,
yeah. Snakes. Yeah. Wow. So the entire spiral.
so it is to say, because it wasn't necessarily, for instance, her Nafnaro's only enemy didn't have to be
Yeah.
religious in nature, right?
Sure.
Rival magic users. If she advises one ruler but not another, that ruler can turn against her. It can really be political.
Yeah.
But this does seem to say that her undoing, at least, or at least a great blow dealt against her, was certainly by the followers of the Iron Empress.
Hmm. Wow. I'm, I'm curious. Is someone who's interested in? Is my character interested in sculpture too? This snake. Does it go into the water? Like, would that be where the head is, or would it be up above? I don't remember seeing, start or end of it.
There's no imagery one way or the other that suggests it.
Yeah.
So obviously the thing would be to ask them while they were down there. And, these people have traveled up and down it, although clearly the majority of it they don't do regularly.
Right.
Um, so you just ask them, this seems to be a snake, which was important in the symbology of this place originally.
Hmm.
Um, you know, have you seen its head somewhere? Um, and they say yes. We didn't care for it. It was at the very height of the rampway, so we cut it off.
Okay. I guess they destroyed it, implying that, or did they just put it somewhere? Interesting.
We pitched it off the mountain.
Okay, it's gone.
There's clearly a distaste for snakes among these people.
Yeah.
I mean, like
And
even
there's
when you
symbology as a hawk, so it kind of makes sense.
so when you mention like this is clearly a snake, like he kind of is like a recoils a little bit, no pun intended. Um, and then he
Yes.
coils. Yeah, exactly. His what Um, so
Very interesting. Well, I think something that would benefit is, I mean, these people have been here for over 55 years. If they had found anything, that would stand out that wasn't theirs, they would know, right? So I kind of prompt
well,
him. I guess if it's worth, we could, look for more of that. The people who created this place before you, there might be more clues as to the nature of what happened here. That's it is your home. It's up to you.
only the
You
first
can.
level, the first 3 levels were um, already carven from the mountain. The rest, they appeared to want to do more because they did dig doorways.
Right.
Um, um, but all the other doorways are only a foot deep or so.
Very
So we have added a further 2 doorways, 2 levels, but our community, continues to be small enough to make use of that space. $80, no, wouldn't be that many.
interesting. Also, it was just another like reasoning thing. They would finish the sculpture of the snake, but like they didn't complete any of the doorways or any of the more practical things. Kind of.
Well, except they finished 3 levels.
Well, okay, I'm confused. Like, well, 3 levels of the snake. There's no hallways or anything in there.
Right, right, they know they finished. The stairway is a snake all the way down.
Yeah.
They tell you all 111 levels down underwater to the base is
Right.
111 floors.
Right.
They marked out doorways and they just did hollow doorways,
Right.
did some brickwork, for archways and things like that. But then their own needs apparently only extended to 3 levels. So,
Oh, I see.
and so then they have added, the people of the soil have added 2 additional levels below that.
I see.
So clearly there was an attempt, there was a desire to expand. Um, they had very long-term plans for this place, but
Yeah.
they came to nothing, as is so often the case with mortals.
Beg your pardon. What were you trying to say about mortals?
Sucker! Oh, and this is where she picks a fight with.
Yeah. Uh, it'd be worth seeing some of those other doorways because the one was very nicely engraven. Take a look at some of the other ones on the way back. When we fly up, and they can just drop me off. I'll take a look at them.
Well, they tell you that they've covered over the majority of them. The only ones that they leave are those that have pleasant imagery.
I see.
Um, Most of them have the imagery of the snake.
Right.
And so we just covered them over with soil and then sealed them.
Yeah, sneezing all over him. Gotcha.
That's it.
Imagery of the snake covered over, only the pleasant.
There is one other that is uncovered, but as it is where the children play, we don't wish to disturb the children with your presence.
That's fair enough.
What you saying? I'm ugly? People
Yeah,
find me attractive.
yeah. It's like that Twilight Zone episode. It's like, to me, I'm like a 20 out of 100 for appearances. To them, I mean, it's like, oh, look at that human.
Right.
Jeez. Look at that nose. It's so tiny.
Yeah.
Ears are so big. But okay. Well, I don't think I have any more questions for them then. Anything else I can do with the wand? It's this is really fun. I don't want to derail us too much, but in Dungeons and Dragons, there's a spell. I don't know if there's an Roll Mastery, but it's called Legend Lore, and it's like both like the worst and the best thing about the game because you can get information about stuff that has like been ancient, like lost to history. It's like you just touch it and it tells you about it, tells you stories about it. And it's like, I want to do that now, but it's like, but then there's the whole mystery of figuring it out anyway, like going back to town and asking about the name. So,
Right.
man, I wish I had a legend lore spell, but it's like, it's a long. I'm in it for the long run, so don't have to know.
Roll for me.
Okay, 21. Nice.
There are some spells that do certainly provide lore.
Oh,
You
yeah.
just don't know the extent to which they would provide lore on,
Right.
how
Right.
far back and what the limitations are, I guess.
Okay, but yeah, I think I'm done with my analysis. If they have any questions, I'll answer them. Else we can get out of this pit here.
The father thanks you for taking your time. He says to you that while you certainly have proven yourself friendly, um, we ask that you don't come back unless under the direst of need.
Mm.
The goblins will follow you,
Mm.
and they have yet to uncover our community. Um, However, if I will spread the word that if you are ever found in need outside the boundaries of the community, that we are to lend you all aid.
Well, thank you. Very much appreciate that.
Um, and the priest bird tells you he'll take the father up first. And up they go. And then the bird returns. Did you want to see the eggs?
Yeah, my character would be interested in magic items. So sure, yeah, just if they would let me, I'd just be curious to see.
Yeah. So up you go. You ask about the eggs. Um, the father makes a high note with his trunk. Um, one of his attendants appears, one of the females, and she runs off. Some minutes later, returns, and sure enough, it's slightly larger than a chicken egg, and it's intricate in sort of metalwork and filigree and this kind of thing. Um, you remember it now being called Mekra's egg, Mekkra, and what it does is siphon magical power and It's the equivalent. Basically, you put it in a location. You can only have one working at a time. You put it in a location, and so long as you're on the same plane, that egg will send, based on the conditions around it, up to 15 power points to you every day,
Oh, wow.
while also increasing your max power points by that level.
What? Oh, like just once.
Right. Well, so right, like, well, for instance, if
Oh,
you
it adds 15 to your max and then restores 15 every day.
right, assuming you find a place that it's that powerful,
Right.
right? It
Max.
might do 7 and 7, right? It might do 10 and 10.
Gotcha.
Um, but it's a way to siphon magic from other areas and just,
That's pretty damn cool.
so you can explain that to them to whatever degree you want.
When did they remove the eggs? How many years ago?
It was when he was a young man,
Oh, okay.
and no one's come looking.
Right. So, I mean, that's a good sign. So maybe they are safe from
Right.
whatever original people come and look for this. But still, yeah, be wary of people who would try to take advantage of this.
Yeah.
But
Um,
doing a pretty good job of that already. Underground cavern people.
um,
Very cool.
so they ask if you would like to use the exit by which you came, or
Uh,
would you and your little bird like to go out one of our other exits?
I'm going to do the exit from which I came. It's probably the best. Now, before we leave, I am supposed to come back when the priest bird is able to
Oh, yes.
need. So he said, only come back in the direst of need. I'm like, that's going to be pretty dire.
Right.
So,
We'll assume that that's understood.
yes. Okay.
Yeah. Um, okay. So you are escorted out, quite a walk, um, and back out you go. Um, they are not as primitive as you once thought, because while those doors clearly are sealed and so on, they have a clever way that what they've done is they've removed planks from a door, and now it opens. The middle of the door basically opens like this,
Oh,
so it leaves the sense that it's been sealed forever, right? Because the
yeah.
soil and vegetation has grown up there. So
Yeah.
they just flip this open. This is on the side of um, the side that is near what was the old forge,
Mm.
and out you go, and it seals back, and you can see them tugging at it here and there, so that no new, fresh wood is shown, no
Yeah.
unweathered wood is shown, and it just sort of disappears right back,
It's pretty
uh,
cool.
and so you're like, no metalworking doesn't mean not clever.
Oh, yeah.
Um, so you want to take a break? It's 10 after 8, and it's a good story stopping point. Uh,
Yeah.
and we'll be right back, gang. We're gonna go get some water and so on. You guys feel free to do the same, and we'll continue with whatever Brise decides is up for next. This is Sandbox, and Brise is in the driver's seat. So can I mix any metaphors further?
Well, yeah. Then you're the gasoline that's quickly
That's
running out.
so I should have posted the stuff, for our.
Oh, yeah. The links. Yeah.
We've got the new website open, gang, up and running, and so but as always, there's also notes and Brisa's notes and equipment, or character sheet, or personality. You can hop to the donate page and give us a little love. And you can hop to Elliot Dunovit's site there, who did the portrait for Brise, and take a look at Elliot's fantastic artwork. And we will be back in just a few minutes to entertain you further. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in a few.
Oh.
Oh my! Boo 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 boo.
That was elevator. I can never tell if it's because how this interface works is when I'm offline, it says everyone can see and hear you, but I know no one can see and hear me. So I'm like, can people see and hear me? So
No, I
anyone
have
heard me
a
humming.
right in Restream. I see you off to the side, grayed out, but silent.
Yeah. Which
So
which is weird. It's like I'm not live, but like some people can still see me. You can still see me. It's like
it's very weird. You want to change your middle piece?
clear. Oh, I do. Well, I mean, we could just take a break for forever if you want. But
That's right. It's what
I
it
guess we
feels
should
like.
get back to it, shouldn't we? That's what the people came here for.
That's right. The lazy style of my game mastering certainly feels like, you know. Oh Lord,
Certainly feels like a break. Yeah.
it does feel like one constant break. Oh, there we go.
I forgot. I always pull us up on YouTube. Let me just double check live and everything. No. Yeah, there we are.
Oh my Lord, is Quinn.
Oh, I just saw Quinn's comment. Is this the episode where Brise dies?
We
Yeah,
don't know yet.
you just missed it, actually.
Yeah, died and brought back due to a 70-foot long wand.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah. So we've just left the domain of these creatures. So they just kind of, popped out of the hole, and I left their shed. I imagine.
Carriage, yeah, the carriage house there
Yeah,
of the goblin.
I'll just really quick look around. No one saw me going in or leaving.
Yeah, it appears. It appears that while you can definitely hear motion, definitely there's no one around. Um, there's no one visible.
Right.
The motion is coming from behind the forge. That's sort of to your it's to your right now as you come out of one of the their clever little carriage house door. Um, the sound is approaching. Um, and it would be an excellent time to make a decision now.
Sound is have. I'm gonna hide and have Laula then go and investigate the place.
Where are we hiding?
Well, if I recall, the stables aren't far off. Like
Well, yeah, you could also just
20 feet off.
go behind you and hide behind the next corner of the thing.
Oh, that would probably be better. Yeah.
Let me see. Let me get. Sorry. Let me get you. I can get your position from
I have an interesting premonition, but we'll see. See if it's right or not.
you and your premonitions.
Premonition.
Oh dear. Oh, there's the old. May you remember the old Brise triangle. So I'm gonna.
Or are you gonna pull the map up? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Weird. The Brise triangle is not showing up. That's because I locked it. No, I don't want that. Huh. This is weird. I don't know what to do about that. Oh, it's because it's really small. I see.
Forgot to mark down we start of our session. This is funny. We've been almost for a month on the same day. We started 3rd of September. We had a session April 22nd in game, and still April 22nd.
Right. Grab one of these. Oh no, I don't have one. Okay, great. All right, so let me hop over here and share screen. We'll see how that works out. As I recalled, it worked pretty well last time. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, wow.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Oh, what, did we try it this way? Is that what we did? No, you don't like that, do you? Probably. You say that? That's kind of fun. I kind of like that.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
not bad. Let's
uh,
see.
so you can. So that's going to be hard for me to chat, gang. Just a reminder when I'm in here. So you can see my cursor. Can you not?
I can.
All right. So the noise is. This is the forge here. You can tell because magically words can appear and call it. Why is it not doing it? Why did that not work?
Magic is failing you. There must be an egg nearby siphoning it away.
It is not letting me write.
Or you
Don't
do
know
have the
why.
text tool selected, or
You know what I got to do? I got to draw a box first. There we go. I'll make that considerably larger. I don't know. Oh yeah, hey, real. There you go. Um, it's coming from behind the forge, approaching. You want to probably sneaky this way.
Yep.
All right. So roll for me, sir.
12.
Yeah,
I yell out, they'll never find me behind the carriage house.
exactly. So yeah, your sneaky sneak is not the best you've ever done. So um, you are in fear of being discovered, and therefore you arm yourself. How?
With my spear and target shield.
And the um, noise does not really change. Laula lands. Where do you want her to be?
I'll have her on the roof of the carriage house, right on the corner I was at, so the northwest corner. Trying to.
You could put her on the forge, you know.
Oh, that's right, because it's behind the forge. Put her on the forge, yeah. And yeah. See what the noise
Uh,
is.
Little Laula lands lightly and looks. Lordy, lordy. It is one of the half humanoid, half maggot people, and it's clearly a female, longer hair, um, topless but showing breasts, larger than the male, um, coming down at one of these sort of acidic slime trails that would sort of wind or through the word outbuildings here.
Right.
Um, she has a crude bag in which apparently is stuffed. You would guess food items. It's like mushrooms and some branches carrying berries.
Yeah.
Um, and it moves along. Let me turn on our bad guy button. Where is our bad guy button? This makes no sense to me. Why can it not be seen? Let me back out a second. I don't understand. Where is the bad guy button? I don't know why it's not showing up. Good Lord.
That's one big baddie.
Ah. Come with me. Come with me. So the creature rounds the corner. Um, what would you like to do?
Oh, it's probably going back to its babies. We'll just wait and see where it goes. Keep hiding. Keep
Sure enough,
watching.
it goes to Baby Town. What I should do is.
Right.
So, yep, Zoopy Doops.
It's a perfect time to sneak away while it's busy.
So, yeah, at the moment, it's in there. Um, doing what? You don't know, but in there. Um, now what, sir? We can certainly zoom
Well,
out.
it depends on the time of day, actually. How long was I down there in those caves?
Some hours.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I didn't even have. I had lunch, but is it dinner time?
Um, it is certainly close to sunset, so it's going to
Okay.
be dark soon. Is this an exciting moment where you just say, well, to hell with it? Um, I'm going back to town since you've got meetings in the morning.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, this manor's not going anywhere.
And Karandrin, you never know, but it's brave of you to make that claim. Um,
Oh, Kevin, don't don't do this to me.
wait,
Yeah.
wait, watch. Poof!
If much to everyone's disappointment, I'm not going to explore the big manor yet. Built up to it, and then I instead explored underground civilization. But
That
that
was fun too.
yeah. So
You
yeah, I
certainly
think
learned.
I'll sneak back to camp. At least sneak, away until out of earshot, and then go back to camp.
All right, just don't roll terribly low.
Actually, before I do that, so I'm gonna want to come back here, but well, how do I want to do this? I rode my horse, into this place, but I can always teleport back here. So my idea is to, take the horse back to town in the morning,
I see.
which means I need a good spot to teleport back here. So,
Well, unless you're going to ride your horse back.
well, why would I do that when I can teleport? The reason I rode my horse is because it was a new unexplored place, right? That I didn't have anywhere to get there. So,
Oh, I see what you mean. Now that you've been here, but
now
remember, you
right?
don't have a clear sense of um, you don't have a clear sense of a way down off the mountain.
Not yet.
Right.
Right. So what okay, what I'm all leading up to is tomorrow I'm going to find a way down the mountain with my horse. Right now I need to get a spot to memorize. So what kind of stood out to you the most? Maybe these obelisks. I could just pick one out and or maybe all three of them, just try to memorize that spot and commit that.
Well, I mean, there's like a 50-foot separate. There's a 50-foot span that those obelisks
Oh,
represent.
that's right. Yeah, those little
You
squares.
probably want to teleport far enough away from the forge so that you're not. So maybe over here behind the stables, sort of with some hiding.
Sure, yeah.
Um, so you head over there, and you study the region. For anyone who doesn't know, you can only teleport to a region area you can remember, or an area you can see. And so you feel confident that you can remember this location, and if you want to make it more memorable, you can always put marks on the wood, things like that. Let's roll for your sneaking, though. Let's do that first.
Sure. 60.
All right. No sign of pursuit. You have Lala return to your shoulder. You um, do you do you is there any use for a miracle roll before you leave?
I'm thinking about that. I don't think so.
Okay.
Let me go. Let me just write down. So the east side of the stables at the abandoned manor in the Goblin Mountains. This was on April, let's say 22nd.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Just got that memorized. One other thing, just housekeeping. My magic lantern, it uses normal oil. How much oil, would have gone through in those hours?
You've used
I
some.
have tons, so you could just say whatever. I have 3 pints, 6 hours per pint. So
Right. I would imagine that. I would imagine you need to replenish.
okay, so we'll just say 1 pint is gone. Yeah.
Yes. And so.
All right. Got it all taken care of. Okay. Well, we'll walk back to camp then. Memorize the spot.
Man, what is going on with you today?
Oh.
So crazy. All right. Well, we can shoot. I can stop sharing now. So you are headed back. Let me return us to that.
There we go. Hello, Obi-Wan. Just escaped I can never say that word. Evangelical town. To join the wild, crazy, heathenistic world created by Crack Palantir.
Cracked Pal.
Evangelical. That's how you say it, right?
Evangelical.
Evangelical, yeah. Because you want to say it like with the lilt, like antithesis, evangelical. But like it doesn't work. You have to say it. Every syllable has to be long. It just throws me off. Thanks for embarrassing me, Obi-Wan.
So heading back, you find a really big sack, and just laying on
I'm
up against
ignoring that.
it's laying up against the tree. It's bulging and glittering with coins.
What? Oh, okay, how about it's like ruptured?
From rot, basically.
Okay, so it's not gonna be one of these crazy magic bags. I mean, I'll go and look around. No one's well, I guess. So yeah, I'll just go over and open up the bag, see what's in there. All just coins.
You head over there, and up in the tree, you see a old, rather large birdhouse nailed to the trunk of the tree, about 15 feet up. And the face of it has fallen open on some with hinges. Like, it's a very interesting layout. And there's a tatter of the bag's cloth caught in a limb, and then right below that is this bag. If you had to guess, this was like a little secret stash of the household to prevent theft.
Yeah.
And as you gingerly prod the bag, because everyone's paranoid in role playing,
explodes.
That's when a 200-foot tall magic user comes. I'm kidding. Where's my wand? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding about all of that.
Where's the wand I was going to take over the world with? It's like, I got everything wrong.
It's hundreds of silver.
Oh my gosh.
hundreds and hundreds. You spend a half hour counting and transferring it to your bag. It is 1,100 silver.
Wait, hold on. Before I do that,
Yeah.
how heavy is all this? I'm gonna be lugging all this.
Well,
I might leave it here just so I could
you're gonna leave it out in the open like a
leave it, like put it back in the birdhouse.
right. Well, the birdhouse fell open, so I
Oh,
doubt that it's gonna,
or I would hide it in my
I mean,
campsite.
I actually have a calculation for this. Hang on. Well, it's about so a full sack of coins. Um, God damn it, where's my number? There we go. No, that's not it. That's not the number. Um, where is my? Okay, so a normal bag can hold 3,200 coins before it's just too heavy and it'll just rupture the seams.
Yeah.
So this is 1,100 coins, so it's about 20 pounds.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I mean, like that's a lot. Like that's probably above what I can carry with all my other stuff. So
Yeah, but well, remember that's what you can carry comfortably.
true.
You're
So I
headed
would,
back, and you're going to be on a horse.
yeah, true. So I would spend the time counting then. Might as well.
Um, so there's 1,100 silver for you. There's plenty of bribe money for guards and whatnot.
Guard.
Um,
But that's yeah, it's 110 pieces of gold. Not at all.
um,
Let me do some math here. 1,100 plus 330. It'd be 14.
and then the original two numbers. So, yeah. So that was a little boon.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, you will.
Literally falling out of trees here.
That's right.
Back to the campsite with a skip in my step.
That's right. So, all right. Well, you head. You head back, and you horse is fine.
Did I cast disguise camp here?
Yes. Now, I forget the timing in terms of like, were you waiting for one to close out? Like, if it was near ending or not?
Yeah, I cast it in the evening of the 21st. So that'll be for until the afternoon of the 23rd. Whole like 24 hours plus 12 hours. I think.
Right. So, it occurs to you, and it should have occurred to me just to mention it to you directly. If you have residents of a manor and they've got stables, they obviously have a way up and down, or at least they used to.
Right, yeah.
Had some decades of disrepair. And so that's going to
had to get here somehow. So
right, and so they expected visitors and so on, and so if you skirt the grounds and keep an eye out for the hammerworm, then you should be able to find at least the remnants of what they had going on.
Yeah, definitely.
So, so pack up. You're gonna have to use your lantern. Ugh.
Well, I don't think. Well, here's the thing. We want to spend the night and then
spend the night and then head back.
Safer.
Yes.
See what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, how long do you have left on the disguise camp? Is it going to last till morning?
Oh yeah. So I cast it last evening, so it's got another 12 hours. So it'll expire like in the morning. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So evening time. What do you want to spend your time doing?
We'll try to do a bit of reading of my my tome. Which tome was I reading? I know I need to finish Way of the Spirit.
Yes.
Let me just search if I make sure that's the one I was reading. I have a note that says study my tome. That's from before. I don't think I have studied since last time I've leveled up. So we'll say Way of the Spirit. I'll try to master those 5 through 10 spells.
Right. You knock out an hour of it.
Okay.
What does that bring your total to?
I think just an hour. I think like the last time I had read from Tome was on the 16th of April. Now
Oh, wow.
I've leveled up. Let me see. I think I've start of experience marked.
Yeah.
On
That's fine. I trust you.
Yeah. So.
All right.
And the horses, okay. Judas is doing.
Yeah, I mean, clearly needs some human contact. It's like a little skittish around you. We would find that with livestock on the farm if you hadn't been out in the field for a week or so.
Aw.
Like they wouldn't want anything to do with you.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because they forget that you exist.
They don't get acclimated. Like even so, it's not like we were like you knew you'd been around them a lot if you could get within about one of their body lengths before they would kind of go, that's a little too close.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you'd really been a while, been like a couple of weeks since you've been out in the field, it'd be like half the field.
Mm.
So I mean, they would be like, nope, nothing to do with you, and we're like, okay. I mean,
and then when they get too acclimated, like there's like a petting zoo and something, like goats, they'll just like come up to you and like bump into you, and it's like, what are you doing? It's
that's
like,
right.
Get away from me.
We've got family whose their neighbors have a couple of longhorns, and they are big, sweet, gentle, loved-on animals. And you come up to the fence, and they're like, "I love you," and they push through, and they want to, you rub their noses, and very sweet. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then we'll read my tome, have some dinner, and
erase a meal.
Or go to bed. One thing, the acid from my boots, are those boots even even usable anymore?
Yeah, you lost some tread.
Yeah. Need to get some new ones.
But they shouldn't be. They should be. They should be. They should be fine for a while. It's a tough thing repairing a magic item. Like, oh, we're just going to tear off the soul, and who knows what happens now? Does it just lose its enchantment or whatever?
Right.
So, you we're just sending texts back and forth.
Having a war.
So a private chat. Anyway, so call it a night. You've put disguise camp on there, bully for you.
Comes and kills me in the night.
You are you're awakened by your horse kind of being uncomfortable. Do you have a tent set up? Is that right? You sleep with it?
Oh, yes. No, yes, I do. Yeah.
No, yes.
I do.
What would you like to do?
I make sure my spear and shield are handy.
Yeah.
And we'll peer outside of the tent.
In the dying light of your fire, there is a person of the soil. And it's petting your horse. And the horse is a little uncomfortable with this kind of big creature by it. It notices you. It nods to you, and it unhooks a fur pouch. To you, it'd be a sort of a large pouch, and he signals like this,
Hmm.
and he just sort of tosses it down, looks at the horse again, and just keeps petting it.
Okay. I'll take that and nod to him and thanks. Shouldn't. Well, how's my trust around these things? And I mean, I was in their home. None of them did anything to me, so I don't think they're.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those
If
things.
they were gonna kill me, they could have done that a long time ago. So I'm
But
like,
still, like the impulse you
yeah,
have,
it's there, but I'm like, should be okay.
yeah, you're like, you're just going to go out very slowly, just watch him, right? I mean, you'll act, but you'll act with a lot of caution, spear still in hand.
Yeah.
And so pull it and open it. And there's these big mushrooms, there's these big berries. Um, and there is a Mekra's egg.
Huh. Oh my gosh. Have a great breakfast tomorrow.
So you have
Crack it, all the magic spills out of it.
let's call it a fur satchel. If
Sure.
you want to keep it,
Yeah.
well, it doesn't matter. I mean, you've got stuff in it now, so you're going to keep it for now. Weighs 2 pounds, easily can hold 15 or 20. It's hard to say. Um, I mean, it's almost the size of your backpack. Um, the berries smell great. The mushrooms, you just don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't cook mushrooms. And he nods to you again. He nods to the horse, and then he strides off, though not back to the manor area. He
Hmm.
strides further off in the open grasslands
Interesting.
and the light trees.
I was just able to find my camp so easily. Well, maybe not easily, but the fact that we found it.
Right. So,
Okay.
um, go to sleep pretty easily. It's a busy night. I can't believe it. What is going on with the dice today? You've gotten encounters. Every one of them has been positive. This is
Well,
your third positive encounter.
cannot turn that down.
No. Um, it's interesting. I mean, the most logical thing for it to be is yet another visit from our friends. Like, what other positivity could there be?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I know what there could be. I know what there could be. You wake. Um, and there is the clear call of a priest bird.
Oh.
Um, not very near, but it repeats. Quinn, that's hilarious. Is he petting the horse or is he tenderizing the horse? That's great. That's good.
I'm petting it with my hammer.
I'm petting it with my hand.
Um, I guess same as before. I'll get out of slowly peek out of the tent, my shield and spear. ready and see if I can spot where it's coming from.
It's quite distant.
Okay.
Coming from the direction of the manor. Roll for me.
25.
That's all you can make out.
Yeah, it's hard. I guess, is it a beckoning for me or someone else?
All of those are possible, including other options.
Might as well investigate. So I'll suit up my armor. How long does that take again? Just like a couple of minutes. It's leather stuff. So
Yeah. It's pretty quick. It's about 3 rounds for it.
oh sure, yeah, okay.
Leather jerkin is a single round because it's just a vest. You just pull, or you button it up and then it's good to go. But it's sort of the lightest of the proper armors.
Right.
Um, so yeah, you kind of walk in the direction. You want your lantern on. It's a 3/4 moon. You can see, and I'm not going to try to be consistent with moonlight. I'm just going to roll when we need it.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Let's yeah, wait a sec. The moon was a crescent moon yesterday. What madness is going on?
right, there are 9 moons, and they all do my bidding. That's the way to really settle that as a game master. Are they your moons or my moons, motherfucker? They're my moons. So shut up.
Okay, well, no, let's not use lanterns. I'll just attract a bunch of attention. So sneak along under the light of the moon.
Keep in mind that you may not know this about old style lanterns, but they have a shutter, and so you can open them as a beam.
Oh, it's so funny. I should know that because I was just watching Over the Garden Wall the other day. And a
Yeah.
lantern like a MacGuffin in the show, and it has a beam. And I'm like, that'd be really smart for like role playing.
It's that's
Yeah,
hilarious.
because it exists. Okay. Yeah. Then I will bring my lantern. Make sure it's just pointed ahead. Yeah. All around. I think we're so used to lanterns in video games that like provide light for the player, and so you just think it's like an area thing.
Right, and you can certainly open it, all that way, But yeah, they have shutters. Roll for me.
Yeah. 12. That's the third 12 this night.
So you could signal with it. Just walk out of your disguise tent, right? Because you don't want that to, because it's going to try to muffle anything coming out of your tent. And maybe signal if you think that's what's going on. If not, like if they're looking for you, then do that. Is your thought. If you're not certain of that yet, then don't bother and just use the lantern on the ground in front of you and press on.
It can't hurt because if they're not looking for me, I don't know. Then they'll come across me, and then they'll be, oh, it's her.
Right.
And if they are, then it'll work. So yeah, we'll signal, and we'll wait a little while to see if we get any response. Do Morse code for fuck you.
Exactly. Pluck you. They're birds. Pluck you.
Roast chicken.
That's right. All right. So in just a matter of moments and quite sort of awingly, 5 priest birds land sort of an arc in front of you. Roll for me.
27.
You're like, if I've met one of these before, they all look the same. I don't. And in a series of cues and chirps, they're clearly trying to communicate to you. There's no doubt about that.
Okay, well, I will, motion with my hand, one moment, and I'll grab a book and Nature's Law.
Yeah.
Cast a Speak with Animals.
All right, roll it.
34. How many? What level is that? Just for making sure.
Sixth level.
6.
Uh, and it's 6 exhaustion. And they so now you have the Gift of Bird Gab.
It still doesn't sound the same.
So clearly, yes, the center one is the one that you spoke with.
Okay.
We hoped that you would still be in the area. As you can see, I received an immediate response after you left.
Okay.
They would not believe me. They wanted to meet you.
Okay.
Repeat for them, if you would, the story of the demon threat.
Yeah, I will.
Ended. Rush Limbaugh is dead. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll just tell the same story, same details. All 5 of them. There's another one of those just moments. This would be such a cool painting, just like me standing with the lantern and 5 of these gracious pheasant birds,
So you
listening, kind of like their heads cocked, like one has a hand to its
lantern, right? So lantern, and you've got the book up here.
Yeah.
And there's an array of 5 birds, right?
Yeah.
And so the picture is eerily, Brise reads a bedtime story to some damn birds. I mean, that's the weird, I mean.
Yeah. Without the context, it kind of just seems almost goofy. Yeah.
Yeah. So. There is an outright debate. They all agree that you are of good heart, that you mean well.
Okay. If things go south before making a decision, this might be where a miracle roll would come in.
Yeah, sure. The disbelievers say there's no way someone so young could possibly have such knowledge. Clearly, they misunderstood. Now remind me, in your original story to our underground, to the people of the soils, Priest Bird, are you mentioning Verilag in this, or is it simply you didn't, right? It's simply, hey, you've got someone trapped here, or you've got
there's someone trapped there, and I allude that I'm somewhat familiar with the person who might have trapped them, right? Like I know they must be someone really powerful.
Right. You sort of like you've inferred it from the facts.
Yeah. So it's not really known that I know her
yet. Do you wish to try to argue your case before using a miracle roll?
Oh yeah. Let's
All right, let's do it. Make a big roll here and just bring up terms, like he's supposed to be a realm lord. You describe him, for instance, things like that, such that like they show you have detailed knowledge. Roll it up.
It's funny. I was just watching Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. So this is exactly what I need. I need a lawyer.
That's right.
I'll take the case. 49.
It does cause some of them to reconsider. Your the people of the soils, Priest Bird, is arguing it doesn't matter if we believe her. What matters is that we can at least search. It seems that they're going to begrudgingly search, and they'll spread the word to other valleys. If you want a bigger if you want a heartier endorsement from them to their kin, it may need a miracle roll
I
or some other.
do, especially because this this demon is like it's not just a search. Like we need a thorough combing of all the volcanoes because like obviously just a search won't it's been here for so long, thousands of years. So it'll take more than a begrudging alliance. So yeah, let's do miracle roll. They I just I don't know, like argue it better, and just they do fully commit. They're inspired to.
I want you to make a reasoning roll, and I'm going to make a roll for the bird.
Oh Jesus! Okay,
Or anything you need. Just throw shit around, you jackass.
that's a 54.
If someone is so powerful as to hide and capture a demon, wouldn't they also hide the fact that it's a volcano?
Oh my gosh! Like a huge illusion. What?
They would already have to hide the opening somehow. Yes? Or else simply flying over any one of us could see.
Right. This is true.
Roll, because you're clearly not thinking of something.
40. Well, I mean, the thing I would counteract. Well,
Yes.
I can't tell them this yet. Maybe I'll withhold this information, right? But I saw the volcano with my own eyes. Through.
Yes.
Yeah.
You saw it through its prisoner
Yes. Yeah.
inside the prison.
Yes. So I need to convince them of that.
A 40. That's such a close call on my part about someone else has seen them. Right? Don't you remember? Eagles.
The
Great eagles. What?
with the
Great
Eagles?
eagles over the years have seen him, remember?
Well, that was like yeah, but okay. Yeah, okay. I see what you mean. Okay, so yeah, thousands of years ago, the eagles apparently saw him. So I would tell them that, yeah, that's a safe bet to say. But I know that other creatures have seen him. Thanks, Kevin. I completely forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. I'm like, man, you're right. I was about to go tell Adabir, like, we got to stop looking for volcanoes and start looking for.
Any roll over a 46, and I would have had you remember it because you've got a decent memory and everything.
Yeah.
So I was like, 50-50 shot, a little bonus. But man, 40 driving me crazy.
Yeah. That is kind of an intricate detail too, the fact that someone else long ago witnessed him. So
Do you know what clan of eagles? It would speed our search greatly to know.
no, it would have been very old, very long time ago. I couldn't say, but I could try to find that out possibly.
No need.
Mm-hmm.
It is simple enough for us to lay in wait for the eagles, see them in the sky, and ask them ourselves.
Okay, do we want to go back to trying a miracle roll to convince them more, or I mean, it seems like they're pretty committed to it now. At least.
Yeah, I think you're good. Yeah. So I think because if the eagles, if that story hasn't passed on, then they can remember where it is and go back to it.
Yeah.
If they don't remember, they might be recruited to do so.
Right.
And I think since we know that they somehow pierced whatever defenses are on it. I mean, obviously they were very far above, but could still visually see that there was this enormous, terrifying creature in the thing, and we're dropping, 1 ton boulders on it
Yeah.
from way up. Then you've got a dead set search party now, and just weirdly through this encounter at the Dwarven Hold.
Yeah.
Um, so um, they are much more committed to at least waiting and speaking for the eagles, and spreading the. That's right, and so they're content to do that. And some are already, there's 2 of them that are already committed to. No, I'm gonna go and spread the word to my people,
Okay.
like to neighbors and so on, because I'm not, she's of good heart. And roll. I should have you roll. Kind of like character changes within a story.
51.
Um, it makes you feel somewhat more committed to being the best person you can be. Like, what I'm saying is, here you have these creatures that are holy,
Mhm.
telling you that you're a good person, and you're like, shouldn't I never risk letting that go?
Oh, I see. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Kind of,
weird.
kind of like, when a person you look up to, tells you you're on the right track. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Kind of
And
reinforces that.
right. And so like you kind of, it's a sort of very otherworldly thing to have these
Yeah.
birds talking to you, telling you this, but you have seen their commitment to good, and I mean, certainly risking life and pinion over it. And so you want to take it to heart. You're just not sure how to
Yeah.
process it, but it's certainly an idea that's now been planted in your head that, um, you know, should I consider at least committing more fully to not merely fighting some evil here and there, but really, really being the best person in every way that I can be, and that's sort of now on your mind.
Yeah.
A 51 was not a dramatic life changer, even with the little bonus I gave it, but still, it's planted that seed, and something may yet come along that reverses that. Um, Karen's character, she um, she was a thief, and I don't mean the stupid fantasy sense of thief, which I hate, because I don't think it makes any sense to have them exist. Right? Why would they go and, let's kill this dragon and steal its? No, I'll just kill this merchant and get 500 gold. That's plenty for now. I don't need to go. I don't think those people would actually exist. And so. Um, um, but she was an actual thief in town as a girl. But then she saw Andrew get, I mean, damn near killed. Like, it was touch and go
Yeah.
by a thief in the street. And that was like a big turning point for her character,
Mhm.
where she's like, I can't even mess with that side of my life again. Even like as a lark, or hey, let's break in. Like, it feels so dirty now to be considered a thief.
Yeah.
And so, but I like those kind of moments in
Like
story.
you always knew it was bad, but like seeing the dire consequences of it is like,
Yeah, so the worst possible version of it,
yeah.
kind of shook her up, um, shook her character up anyway. So off they go. You won't need to return now, obviously, unless there's news. So I
Right.
guess they need you to return at some point. So they don't know when to tell you that it might be good to return.
And you could just settle on a date, to meet, try to meet again in a
How about
on the next crescent moon. We'll meet.
Oh, exactly. Well, that could be any
Hey,
role.
Kevin, it's a crescent moon. Let's go. With the bird.
6 crescent moons in a day. So they tell you because they wouldn't even use the term week, really. They're birds. So I just rolled a random number, 1 through 10. And so 8 sunsets from now, if you can return at the 8th sunset,
That would be on the 30th.
then we will let you know what news there has been.
Okay.
I think this is a great stopping point. We can have you, you're
Can I
going
just
to,
get a good night's rest first? Can we just
yes, you'll definitely wake up. There can't be any more encounters. There's only 3 rolls. You've had all 3 rolls have something.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
and what we could do, you and I, then is do the behind the scenes, behind off screen stuff and get you traveled.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. To
Um,
travel back to town and also
right,
a little shopping. Maybe we can do
right. So I'll see, obviously what my travel stuff's going to do, and I'll just figure out, um, if we squeeze in an hour here and there, maybe I'll be on a beautiful deck overlooking a river.
Do you see Quinn's comment when dinner tells you you're a good
Yes,
person? But Quinn, that's dumb because obviously it's buffalo sauce. A stupid question.
that's dumb. Well, gang, we want to thank you for hanging out with us for episode 23. Episode 24 should be a week from this Wednesday. My travel stuff may mess. I may just be beat from travel. But if so, check the website and check YouTube for an announcement. And we're going to keep going with these developments. And gosh, Brise may find the trap demon Kralum much faster than either of us expected.
Yeah.
Um, and
Crazy.
um, but thank you guys. Go take a look at the new website if you haven't yet. And we're going to be continually adding to it and so on. And thank you all for just hanging out with us. And we're going to keep on keeping on. And we need to we got to add Karandrin.com to the goodbye page.
I mean,
Um,
it's most of it's already there. You just add a .com.
that's true. It is Karandrin.com.
Right here,
So,
.com.
but thanks, everybody. Take a look at our notes, our donate page. And as always, thanks to Elliot Dunovitz for her terrific art on Brise. And we will see you hopefully a week from this Wednesday. And thanks for joining us. Say goodbye to these lovely people, Max.
Yeah, the same stuff. Thanks for coming out, for accommodating our schedules. It's Monday, but yeah, be back to normal next week, and see you again soon.
That's right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon.